If you look at today's Herald newspaper, it has a very interesting headline, okay? And it says, Kennedy Agyapong pitches camp against Bawumia's 2028 return as they haggle over Adum fire victims. One would have thought that it's a disaster. Everybody, hands on the wheel, let's sort it out and, help the victims. But it appears that something else is happening within the political space. So the Herald says the former Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and former Member of Parliament for Asin Central, Kennedy Agyapong, yesterday demonstrated how fierce the race for 2028 New Patriotic Party flag-bearer contest is going to be at the site of the devastating fire outbreak that destroyed several trading shops last Friday in the party's stronghold. The two prominent individuals were out in different forms. At Adum, the central business district of Kumasi in the Ashanti region, empathizing with the traders over the loss, while literally laying their signpost for the flag-bearer contest. Interestingly, a spokesperson for Mr. Agyapong, Kweku Wate, I believe, I don't know whether you know him, reported yesterday, Tuesday, March 25, that a team had been dispatched to the affected area to assess the situation and provide immediate support to the victims. The ex-vice president was personally on the ground to see things for himself. He extended support to traders affected by the recent devastating fire at Adum, Kumasi, donating 200,000 Ghana cedis and 1,000 bags of cement to aid in rebuilding their businesses. In contrast, Mr. Agyapong only assured the victims of his commitment to providing support. The blaze, which broke out on Friday, March 24, ravaged several shops and stores in the bustling business, destroying goods worth millions of Ghana cedis. The fire, which erupted in the early hours of March 21, destroyed dozens of shops and goods worth millions of Ghana cedis, leaving many traders in distress. Now, during the visit, Dr. Bawumia met with affected traders, some of whom broke down in tears as they described how years of hard work were lost within hours. They appealed for assistance to rebuild their businesses. In response, Dr. Bawumia expressed his sympathy and urged patience as the Ghana National Fire Service investigated to determine the cause of the fire and prevent similar incidents in the future. We have to wait for the investigation by the Ghana National Fire Service, and then we can determine the cause of the fire so that we can prevent it the next time round. I'm donating 200,000 cedis and 1,000 bags to the victims, and I urge private individuals to also support the traders in getting their livelihoods back. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia also appealed to the Mahama government to expedite the completion of the Kejita Central Market Phase 2 project, which he said was about 80% complete when the MEP left office. Additionally, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia commended the efforts of firefighters who battled the blaze, noting that their swift response prevented a further destruction. I also want to appeal to the government to complete Phase 2, so I've talked about that already. Now, of course, the former vice president was accompanied by the MPP regional chairman, Bernard Kwesi and other party officials. Now, Kennedy Agyapong's team, which includes representatives from his office and other key stakeholders, will engage with traders, assess their losses, and explore ways to support them. Their findings will help shape long-term solutions to prevent such disasters in the future. And he says, as a businessman, he understands the immense effort required to build the long hours, the sacrifices, and the hopes for a better future. To see it all taken away in an instant is painful beyond words. He feels your pain and shares in your frustration. He also called on the Ghana National Fire Service, the police, and other relevant agencies to strengthen market safety measures, improve emergency access, and enforce stricter fire prevention protocols. Agyapong assured that upon his return to Ghana, he would personally visit the market, meet with affected traders, and discuss how to help them rebuild. And the rest of the story talks about ECG and so on and so forth. Is this what we're seeing? A foretaste of what to expect?
But
a precursor.
Listen
what to expect.
Listen to you.
As far as the internal contest is concerned.
Listening to you reading the story, I'm wondering what the purpose of the story. What's the purpose of the story?
As captured by the Herald.
Yes, that Kennedy Agyapong is pitching camp with Bawumia. I just didn't get the whole picture.
You don't think so?
What is the issue? There's fire. The former vice president visits the area to find out at first hand what is happening there. He donates money to them and even advocates that private individuals should come to the aid of the fire victims. Members of parliament within the Ashanti Kumasi enclave have visited the place. What is wrong if Kennedy Agyapong also decides to visit the place? Where is the pitching of camp? I want to understand. So because Kennedy Agyapong has written a letter that when he returns to Ghana, he will come and visit the site. It means he's pitching camp with Bawumia. I don't see the connection. Where is the pitching?
You don't think that?
Yes. Where is the pitching of camp?
You don't think that?
When Dr. Bawumia went there,
yes,
I didn't see any clash. I didn't see any members of Kennedy Agyapong's camp having a counter visit during the same period. Mr. Agyapong is an individual. He's not a member of parliament.
Yes.
He's an individual. He's a Ghanaian. Just as when I go to Kwesi, I intend to visit the site. But this weekend I'll go there.
Okay.
So if Kennedy Agyapong decides to go there, so am I pitching camp with Bawumia?
You know, as soon as...
Because I intend to go there.
You know, as soon as Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia went there,
yes,
a few hours later,
yes,
Kennedy Agyapong's team issued a statement.
And so what? I can even issue a statement. Indeed, the MP for Subin issued a statement on the floor of Parliament.
But you don't...
Is he pitching camp? Is the Subin MP pitching camp with Bawumia?
It's strike knowledge
against
that Kennedy Agyapong would like to give this whole thing a shot again.
I don't have any problem. When the time is up, and Mr. Kennedy Agyapong, who is a member of the MPP, a very strong member, last time he contested. If he decides to contest again, so be it. I'm trying very hard to understand how the Herald will couch a story to create the impression that there's a problem between Honorable Kennedy Agyapong and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia because Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia visited the site, donated some money. Ken is not in town. He also says when he comes, he will visit the site. Where would he, I'm trying to understand. How would you write such a report?
So you're accusing the Herald of...
He's just creating unnecessary tension, unnecessary insinuations. I don't see the pitching against each other. I said, I'll visit the site this Saturday. Am I pitching camp against Bawumia?
Okay.
Eh?
But you've never told anybody you're interested in leaving.
Who told you I'm not interested in becoming a president?
Oh, you mean you want to declare on the show?
Have I told you you want to declare?
You want to declare? That's fine.
Have I told you I don't want to be president?
Oh, you want to?
Oh, have I told you I don't want to be president?
2028?
Has Kennedy Agyapong told you that he intends to contest?
Oh yes, I mean he said it publicly.
Where?
He said it publicly.
Where? Show me in the publication.
I mean we have our sources.
I'm surprised I've not picked my intelligence.
Obviously, what do you think about this?
I'm saying that I think it's very normal.
To do about nothing.
What if Kennedy Agyapong wants to visit sites?
Okay.
Well, Honorable, I want to take your declaration of interest in the presidential candidature of the New Patriotic
and wish it well.
Seriously. Because what you have just done could be seriously interpreted as a declaration of interest in the contest. I wish you well. Now, having said that, I honestly think that we have been most unfair to the Herald. Nowhere in the Herald report is it stated that there was a fight between Kennedy Agyapong supporters and Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia's supporters. Nowhere in the Herald report is that stated. All that the Herald seeks to do is to point out that there's a scramble for attention between two potential candidates of the New Patriotic Party for the 2028 election. That's all that the Herald sought to do. And this is not mischievous. I mean, we've heard Adua Safo and others claiming publicly that they are bringing back Dr. Bawumia. Clear statements and other statements that I don't want to go into for now. We've heard persons who are loyal to Kennedy Agyapong also insisting that he will become the flag bearer for the New Patriotic Party in 2028. And there are others. I mean, I have information that there are a couple of others. I've actually had the privilege of speaking to some of them and so on. So it is a fire outbreak, and there appears to be some contest for attention, and I'm using my words very carefully. Every newspaper can do what the Herald has done, and it's not mischievous, it's not sensationalism, it's none of the things that we also speak about.
It's pitching camp.
Pitching camp is pitching camp. You understand? So it's none of the things, and I think that public commentators ought to be fair to journalists and media houses. But sometimes media houses and journalists receive bashing which is completely unfair. And to be honest, I wasn't expecting this from you, somebody like you, who has a reputation for being balanced and sometimes being very truthful and so on. I wasn't expecting this from you at all. Now, having said that, I think that I have to make the point also that, look, there's a disaster in the Adum market in Kumasi.
Yeah.
And any Ghanaian or even foreigner who has some assistance to give must be welcome to do that. And we have to see it in that light. This is more or less like the disaster which struck, in the lower basin of the Volta River, following the floods there and so on, and other disasters. So all assistance must be welcomed. Assistance from Kennedy Agyapong must be welcomed. Assistance from Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia must be welcomed. And indeed, it's important also to recognize that even the National Democratic Congress, led by President Mahama, has also shown some concern. First, there was a visit by the regional minister. In fact, when the fire was raging, the regional minister was on the spot, to give direction and to coordinate the work of the security services and so on. Subsequently, President Mahama also went to the site, and many others have gone to the site. I expect a lot more people to go to the site. So that's how I want to see it. It's okay, everybody. I mean, my brother, if you have some CDs to spare, I think that it can be put to good use in the Adum market.
Absolutely.
And so on. So every Ghanaian, even non-Ghanaians, must be encouraged to contribute, especially given the fact that we are in times when resources available to government are limited. And the Honorable Member of Parliament made the point about how some expenditure has been cut and how justifiable that may be and so on.
Yeah.
So given all of these circumstances, I'm happy that Dr. Bawumia went there, donated 200,000 cedis and 1,000 bags of cement. Kennedy Agyapong may do more than that. That's fine. If he does less, that's still fine. You understand? So I'm not worried at all. I mean, I don't see any big problem with the newspaper report to start with. And I don't see any big problem with politicians going there and expressing solidarity and wanting to help. There's no problem at all with that,
So,
Okay.
just
We're going into our
oh, just a little.
Okay, that's fine.
A little
That's fine.
point. Well, Kwesi made a point about he being disappointed in me.
Oh, not so disappointed. Just a little disappointment.
Well, if I said anything that
Without
hurts the
offensive.
paper, why not? I don't have a problem in
Yes.
apologizing to the paper.
Right.
My understanding of the reports by the paper was, for me, he was trying to create something that for me is non-existent.
Right.
And that there's no problem between Kennedy Agyapong, Honorable, and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
All right.
Both of them have the rights to visit the place. Okay. And I don't think they are crumbling for attention.
Honorable, there shouldn't be a problem because two members of a political party decide to contest a position.
Yes.
So if you make the point that two people are contesting for a position, you're not suggesting that there's a problem between them. Yes. It's a free democratic contest.
Yes.
And that's all it is.
Yes. I mean, you yourself said that you've spoken to other people who may also be interested. And my point was that I don't see how the two of them deciding to visit the place means one is pitching camp against the other. I don't see that. And that was my departure from the reportage. But as I said, if it came out as not being fair to the paper, I don't have a problem.
You see, I think this is where some people are coming from, and perhaps you're not getting it. That the party has just come out of an elections, badly bruised. It's in a bad state, simply put. And your party supporters are looking forward to leadership to pick up the pieces and rebuild the party. And so if you have a situation where the former vice president, who led the party into this defeat, is consoling with fire victims. Okay, and then just hours later, Kennedy Agyapong is also issuing a statement and saying, look, I also have something to do for you. You're not going to blame the person for reading any meanings into it and say that, look, is that the most important thing where you guys are looking at, getting ahead of yourselves in terms of who,
I don't think
why don't you rather focus on building the party?
My point is that I don't see that as getting ahead of ourselves. That's my view.
That's fine.
I don't see that as getting
That's fine.